I understand.
My question is back on, consumer versus artists, right? In some way, form, or fashion, you guys, Lou and Jay, y'all have bands, so y'all trying to appeal to consumers and audiences, right? How do you feel, or how would you have felt, or have you felt? Maybe you have, where you've put something out and it was genuine, it was yours, it was your baby, you worked on it, you scrubbed it, cleaned it up and everything, and you presented it only for people to be like, man, that's whack. How does it feel to be at a show and you went over this set list, you did some mashups and some rearrangements of some songs, and then people just sit there and look at you like, oh, that's whack. Like, how you feel?
That's a good question. Musicians in the comments, y'all can answer
Musicians,
that question
y'all can answer that too.
That's a great question. I'll let you go.
Okay, well, like far as
like you put your
thank
best,
you, Kaylin. We try to create a space like this for everybody. Go ahead.
Well, far as for me, my younger self used to try to put my best foot forward with bands I played with, or if I tried to do some crazy arrangement stuff or whatever. And then I start noticing how the crowd it's like they almost kind of just look at you like, what is this again? So I got to a point where I would be more mindful of what would be, especially like for like just your average gig or whatever. If it's your average crowd of people, and I say this all the time, you have gigs, then you have shows. And it's definitely a difference. When you're doing a show is when people are actually coming to see you and people taking pictures, or you may sign autographs. Those are shows. A gig is when you just call a few homies over to do a gig and you just play for whoever just come out to the venue and they just out with their people, whatever. And then they might tell you, can you turn it down a little bit? Y'all a little too loud. That's when you know for sure you had a gig.
But how do you feel when you have put all that energy into creating this nice show that you thought was going to go off and it doesn't?
I mean, at my earlier age, it will get frustrating from time to time because you feel like I put my heart and soul and whatever in doing this, but then I started to sit back and look at, okay, what am I actually playing for, and what is, what do I need to do to keep getting myself playing at this type of gig if I want to keep playing at that gig, understanding what type of gig it is. Because once you get to the point where you understand what type of gig you playing, then it makes more sense of what you need to do to prepare for it.
Right.
So, yeah.
What about you, Jay? Like, how does it feel to flop?
Flop.
Jesus Christ. All right. I have two perspectives. Which one are you asking about?
I mean, I'm sure you're going to give me both, so take your pick. I mean, I just want you to just be genuine. Like, how does it feel to create? And I've seen you. Mm-hmm. I've been in your presence. You literally shut the whole world off. You get these songs together, you get these arrangements together. Y'all don't start incorporating dance steps and everything. Mm-hmm. And how does it feel to do all that and then the crowd does not respond the way you thought they would? I'm gonna get to y'all comments in a minute.
Y'all gonna think I'm being cocky.
You don't care?
No. Y'all gonna think I'm being cocky. As far as Funk Your Feelings is concerned, and hear me out. As far as Funk Your Feelings is concerned, we've never, quote unquote, put our best foot forward and the crowd didn't move. That's never happened in flop like those Eagles.
Brandon, leave him alone. We're trying to have a conversation. You know he gonna respond. Focus.
Oh,
Come
man.
back. Come back, Jay. Funk Your Feelings never what?
good and terrible.
Come on, so I can read these comments.
You one of the niggas that Andre didn't make the flute album for. You can't reach the top shelf in the grocery store. But anyway, Funk Your Feelings has never done a show where we put our best foot forward and the crowd didn't move. So now, on the flip side of that, there has been situations where I wasn't where I was like, yo, we could have did better, you know, whatever. But the crowd didn't necessarily do that. Even being in situations where we've played in front of, you did give me kind. I did give you kind
focus
words.
so I can read. You got some comments to read.
There's been situations where we had to work a little harder for the type of crowd that was there. I've definitely been in those situations, but it's like once we got them there, it's like, you know,
y'all do get them there.
you know what I'm saying? And even in those situations, I'm not looking at whether the crowd is like, you know, up on their feet and stuff like that or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, that's right, Chris.